In 2008, the Smart Meet was held in Zell in Austria for the third time. But this was a very special occasion. It marked the 10th anniversary of this trailblazing mark. In spite of foul weather, Smart fans from all over Europe braved the elements to see all of the series production models and some special tuner editions. And it seemed fitting to attempt to break a record for the world's longest autocorso, currently held by a parade of 369 automobiles. We'll keep you in suspense a little longer in that regard, though. Smart first rolled out of the Böblingen works 10 years ago. Their claim, originality, practicality, and geniality. They're not even that tiny anymore. With the latest models, Smart enters a new class, both in terms of power and price. The development of the Smart was a long and laborious process. This prototype goes back to 1981. But it was only at the beginning of the 90s that things got a bit more settled. Design teams from America pondered for month upon month over what a city car for Europe should look like, and the biggest challenge was to ensure that the result would be a safe vehicle. Only when the security cage had been developed for series production was it possible to start mass manufacture in 1998. The first Smarts had a mixed reception. In 1998, the two-seater with the three-cylinder motor was ridiculed as being a turbo dwarf, but the concept gradually won admirers, thanks to the compact dimensions, the relatively low pricing, and the advanced technology involved. Today, more than 500,000 Smarts buzz along the roads of Europe, and the customers want more, and more power too. To meet that demand, Smart formed a joint venture with the Mercedes tuner Brabus in 2002. The goal was to ensure that in each model range there would be a high-performance version signed Brabus. The first result, 75 horsepower, 110 Newton-meters of torque and a weight of only 780 kilos, a Smart Brabus Powerball. A plus for the buyers, the tuned models are available through the normal dealerships and come with full works warranties, but the pimped two-seaters cost upwards of 19,900 euros. 2004. The Brabus Smart in a track test with the big boys. Small, light and rear-wheel driven, sounds promising. But unfortunately, Mercedes decided on a setup with the kind of understeer which is totally unwelcome in tight corners. With radical braking dosed by a permanent ESP, dynamic driving becomes an impossibility. At least with the grinning snout and chic aluminium rims, the Smart looked even prettier. At the back, the wheels are driven by a 700cc motor with three cylinders singing sweetly. 75 horsepower and 100 Newton-meters of torque are hardly the stuff of track tests. And so, in June 2002, Smart brings out the idiosyncratic Crossblade. No windshield, target market, smiling flycatchers maybe. The aim was to combine the driving fun of a motorbike with the safety of a convertible, and no helmet required. The model got a lot of attention, plenty of admiration, as eye-catching as a Ferrari, but also as cute as Smarties. But how do you sell a car that nobody really needs, nobody has any use for, and nobody wants to pay so much for? Easy answer, find a personality to endorse it. Like, for example, Robbie Williams. Organize a big event, auction off the first Smart for the benefit of a charity, suddenly you've built up a wave of enthusiasm. And, by the way, the first Crossblade with the serial number 0001 found a new owner via eBay for 51,000 euros. 2003. Roadster and Roadster Coupe are added to the lineup, and Smart can no longer be written off as the maker of plasticine toy cars. Almost 3.5 meters long with rear-wheel drive and ESP, they were up for it. With 82 horsepower engines, these models could reach a top speed of 175 kilometers an hour and weighed no more than 800 kilos. Both models were candidates for the Brabus treatment. The Smart Roadster Coupe Brabus, a weight of 850 kilos and 101 horsepower, means fun in the corners. But the price dampens the pleasure slightly. The sleek silver grey automobile has a price tag of 25,000 euros. Ouch! In the tight corners of the test circuit, there's fun to be had, even if speeds aren't the highest. In spite of longish gear ratios and nannying by the ESP, there's driving pleasure aplenty. In 2004, things get even better. After the 3-cylinder turbo for 2 comes the 4-cylinder turbo for 4. That's right, 4 doors, 4 seats, 4 cylinders, and plenty of space inside. All roads lead to Rome, also for the 4.4. Smart sell about 7,000 of this model here annually. What would Romulus and Remus have made of the Smart 4.4? Possibly preferred the Brabus version, room for 2 sets of twins inside, and all of 3.7 meters in overall length. The Brabus 4.4 has a sonorous sound for a 4-banger. Turbo boost can't harm, and so the modest motor was pushed to give 177 horsepower and 230 newton-meters of torque, sufficient for a 0 to 100 of 7.1 seconds and a good lead over its rivals. But Smart is anything but pretentious and has made the economical 4.2 even more frugal. In 2007, the car maker introduced the MHD model. Instead of installing a conventional electric motor, they opted for start-stop automatic. But back to the sports models. Even 3-time Formula 1 world champion is a fan. The Smart idea was brilliant. A tiny car with low consumption for city driving. You can park nose into the curb, practically park anywhere. And people find it cute. It's nice to drive, great engineering and perfectly safe. But the newest Smart 4.2 goes one better. They have pulled out all the stops with the new Smart. For me, it's the grown-up Smart. In principle, it's exactly the same car, just very slightly longer because before it was a bit cramped. It drives even better because the motor has been modified, the transmission improved. The new Smart is my absolute favorite. And the Brabus version is a very quick favorite, much to the master's liking. The new Brabus, like the ones which went before, is a radical improvement of the motor performance in comparison with the standard models. When you push off, you have the feeling the car rears up and does a wheelie. The interior is also convincing. There's even more originality. It's been cleared up, made more pragmatic, just the way I like a car to be. The moment of truth approaches. Will the Brabus version of the Smart 2 meet the expectations of a 3-time F1 world champion? This is really not bad at all. 98 horsepower. People moan about it not having 100. What rubbish. 98 are quite enough for a car of this weight, and it's an absolutely perfect motorization. This car I find really fun to drive. For me, this is the top car in the Smart range. It has the power, it's really quick and nippy, just a fine car. At Zell am See, meanwhile, the final preparations for the record attempt. Just getting the cars lined up takes about 2 hours, but there's no guarantee that there will be success. There need to be 370 Smarts at the start. But at 11:05, the convoy rolls out on the 3.5-kilometer route. Germans, Italians, Belgians, and the British. Smart owners from all over Europe are here today, and the column of cars is never-ending. 4 official scrutineers are positioned along the route to ensure proper distance between vehicles is maintained, not more than 2 car lengths. Three and a half kilometers later, the result is announced. The old record has been broken.
Das ist eine ganz große Menge. Also, 700 Euro.
Smart drivers, not only proud but hardy. This pair from the Czech Republic have a drive home ahead of them of about 600 kilometers in pouring rain.